Hello, everyone. Okay,
We're recording.
She's who we get it from.
It's fine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special guest. This is our mom, Jeanette. So we thought it would be fun to have her on here, introduce her, do a little interview, and it's also her birthday week. So we're just celebrating her right now, and we wanted to get to know her a little bit better, and we wanted you guys to get to know where we come from. So this is our mom. Mom, say hello to the people.
Hello.
This is Jeanette. We all love to call her Jeanette when we're giving her a hard time.
There was this one time when our brothers pranked her, and they set up a hidden camera, and they put a little paper bag on our front porch, like a gift. So it's always a joke now. She goes, "It's for me. It says Jeanette." She like ran out of the car all excited. There was a gift for her on the porch, and then like a toy snake came out at her, and she screamed, and it was hilarious. So that's where it comes from.
That's her name. But how many kids do you have, Mom?
5.
How long have you been married to Dad?
30 years next month.
Her and my dad are the cutest, you guys. Our first date, my dad told all of his friends, "I'm going to marry her someday," and they all made fun of him and told him he was full of crap.
They
And
threw pillows at him.
voila.
Yeah.
Married forever. They're the cutest. You should give like a little intro about yourself.
I have 4 siblings. There's 5 of us total. 2 sisters, 2 brothers, and I fall second to youngest. I was born in Lincoln, Nebraska. Then I moved to Salt Lake when I was about 7 and have lived here since.
And she comes from a really strong mom who was a single mom most of your young life.
We're
Yeah,
going to have
she
to
was.
do an interview with our grandma
Yeah.
because our grandma is
awesome.
seriously the strongest woman.
And that's where you get it from.
Yeah. Strong women is who we come from. It's pretty cool.
What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
Oh. There's so many things, but I think my favorite thing is that Heavenly Father entrusts me with one of his children, and I get to raise you and mold you and make you the woman you are.
Aww.
Thanks,
Cute,
Mom.
guys. What has been the hardest part of motherhood for you? We're all going to start crying now.
We're all emotional.
Probably having you move out.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to those days. But hey,
No, it's
We're
weird,
all
but
still
I
here
love it.
always.
I was going to say, at least we're still super close.
Yes, you are.
Because a lot of moms have their kids move out and don't see them very often.
Yeah, I am blessed that way, so I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
The letting go.
I bet.
If my mom had her way, we would all be 7 years old, locked in our house for the rest of our lives.
Well, yeah, I'm starting to feel the same way.
Yeah.
What do you know now that you wish you would have known when you were a first-time mom?
I don't know, because I feel like I've always been open and an example to you, so I don't know if there's anything I'd ever change. I guess the only thing I would change is that I wish I would have known then, is how fast the time went, because it does go fast. I think that's the only thing I wish I would have known, because I hear you girls say, "Oh, I can't wait till they can walk," or "I can't wait till they start school," or "I can't wait till they do this." When it happens, it's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
hard.
I think that's something we can all agree on. Like, one of our favorite things about our mom is that she has always been very open, and there's always been an open line of communication with her.
About everything.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we all want to be as moms, is just letting our kids know that they can talk to us about anything, anytime, and that there's that open line of communication. I don't think very many people, especially your age, are like that, moms.
Yeah.
We all had friends that when they were in scary situations or were in trouble and needed adult advice, couldn't go to their own moms, unfortunately, so they'd come and talk to our own mom because they
Yeah,
needed
that happened
help.
a lot.
Yeah. So we've always loved that about her.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, sometimes, especially young moms, they don't want you to make mistakes that they may have made, so they try to be overly
Yeah. Protective.
protective, and so it builds a wall between a mom and a parent.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be careful. It's a fine line.
Yeah. Which I can get that now with Coda getting like a little older and just seeing certain decisions he's making. I'm like, I want to push him a certain way just because I've been there and I know the heartache that can come from certain things. But at the same time, it's like you have to let them experience it, and it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, Mom. If you weren't a mom, what would you do? What would you be doing?
No, I don't even know.
Like, being a mom was her number one dream.
Yeah.
What
Oh, I
was
just
like your
always wanted to be a
backup?
mom.
Like,
Always. And she,
But
I never had a backup plan.
what was your... So when she was in high school, she was very good in math. And you had
Very
many
smart.
math teachers tell you to
Yeah,
go
I
on
may
and
have-
pursue that, right?
I may have furthered my education or become a teacher or something, but I had always, my mindset was I want to get married and be a mom. Mom was, so I never had a second backup plan.
and
Never
you kind
thought
of
that.
always have been, just because you were so young, like being
Yeah.
when we became moms. And it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
okay, one piece of marriage advice, because her and my dad have a great marriage.
I love that little meme that went around Facebook forever, that gross your kids out with love. I think your kids need to see you huggy, kissy,
Yes.
holding hands, sharing a bed. They need to see all of that. I know that once or twice if Dad and I had an argument and I'd go out on the couch all mad, that upset you guys.
Oh, you would be like, what's wrong?
Yeah,
Why's Mom
you'd
like
wake up and say, why are you on the couch? What's wrong? So I think your kids need to see how you love each other.
that? Yeah.
And I think that's the very most important
Well, yeah,
thing.
we
Kids
never-
have to see you be in love.
Yeah, none of us ever had to wonder how Mom and Dad felt about each other. Because
No,
we knew. Like, my
never.
dad is very openly affectionate with my mom in front of everyone. And I love it because we just always knew how much they loved each other. And now we're all like that, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I think along with that too, like, they never hid, you know, their issues. Like, of course they
Yeah.
would have private adult conversations if things were going on, but if they were upset or arguing with one another, we were also kind of aware of that. And I think that's also important to let your kids see.
That it's normal
Because
to argue.
yes, you're not always going to agree, and you have to disagree in marriages, and everything's not perfect because unfortunately I think a lot of young marriages, especially in our culture, end very early on because they're arguing a lot or fighting a lot, and they haven't really seen that.
When they think it's abnormal.
Yeah, so I think it's also really important, just as much as to see your parents loving each other, you also have to see your parents disagreeing, so you know that that's normal.
Totally.
Yeah, and we just always explained it to you guys like it's like you and Kenzie fighting.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
we still
That's-
love
it's
each other.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
always
it's
said
okay.
that. Walk us through your
Walk us
pregnancies.
through it and like tell us how
Start
you
with me,
felt and
maybe.
you got through it. Yeah.
Start with me and
Ken.
talk about your pregnancies.
I had really good pregnancies. I gained the most weight with you.
Because you started out at like, what, 102 pounds?
I was
Literally.
tiny.
She was tiny when she got pregnant.
You were easy pregnancy. Very easy. And then I got pregnant with Shelb shortly after, so they're only 21 months apart. And then, because I started trying when all of you turned a year.
Okay.
And then I got pregnant in between Shelby and Maddie. Yeah, and I lost that one at 21 weeks.
Oh
and
my
that was a little
gosh.
boy.
Yeah, that's
It was a little boy. And I had a DNC with that one. And then in between Madison and
Well, and then you had Maddie.
then I had Madison. And you were an easy pregnancy. You're the only one that my water broke with.
Oh, that's funny.
The rest, they all had to be broke. So you were the only one that, because you were wanting out, I guess. All of you were 2 weeks early from your due date. Like you
Even
were
your
due
first?
November 17th and you came November 3rd. You were due September something and came the end of August.
I
You were
was
due
due
June
June
7th and came
May.
May.
Can we
So
just point out the fact that you remember all of our due dates even though we weren't due on our
I
due
know.
dates? Like, that's impressive.
and then in between Madison and Matthew,
Another little boy.
There's Matthew. You can hear him.
was that the one that I was in Paris with?
Yes.
No, I think it
That
was
was
one
in
after
between
Matthew.
Matt and Jen.
Okay, that one was 22 weeks and he was a little boy too.
That was the one up here in Camas.
He was a boy. Then I got pregnant with Matthew and
Well, first of all, doctors told her she couldn't have a boy.
yeah, they
Just
said
something chromosomally.
yes, with me carrying boys. So when I got pregnant with Matthew, we had a couple different ultrasounds and they didn't think he'd make it.
Wow.
And the last ultrasound I had, Dr. Hatterley told me, go home and put your feet up. You'll probably lose it this week.
Wow.
So I was dying. I was
Well,
like,
what did you do when you came home? Tell them what
Yeah.
you did when you got home.
I
Because she did
laid-
not want to lose it, obviously.
yeah, I laid like on the couch this way, like with my head on the floor, thinking I could hold him in.
Just like with her feet up.
But they saw me every week, and Matthew came. And then when he was born, though, his cord was wrapped around his neck a few times, and they had to resuscitate him, and he didn't cry for about 5 minutes, so that was really scary.
Yeah.
Because I fought to get him. And then I lost one at about 8 weeks in between Matt and Jed.
And she was alone with her girlfriend in Paris, so one of her friends.
Yes, in Paris. So riding
she just
a plane
wanted my
home,
dad.
it was a nightmare. And then I didn't have any complications with Jetty. None.
Until he was 1.5.
Yeah. See, and he was due like December 9th and came Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving.
And Matt was due December 17th. Same. You were
Wow,
November
funny.
17th. He was
Crazy.
December 17th.
Yeah, we all came early.
All of you came early.
She's a champ, you guys. That's 8 pregnancies.
8 pregnancies.
Wow. And the fact that she can just talk about it, like, so calmly and confidently. I don't know. You're awesome, Mom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think my favorite thing about my mom, which I'll probably cry, is that she, my whole life, has always been my number one supporter and number one cheerleader. And through everything, through, gymnastics and cheerleading and any type of trial I've had in my life, she has always been my number one go-to supporter. And even now that I have a husband that's kind of that built-in cheerleader as well, her and Steve are kind of on the same page that way. I remember I actually had to go get a DNC one day, and Steve had his final exam at business school and he couldn't miss it. And so, of course, she took the day off of work. She drove an hour at 5 a.m. and she was at the hospital before I was. So it's just little things like that I can always count on her for. And she's like that with all of us. And I think that's something that I want to do for Leo, because it's something that I will never take for granted, and it's something that I've always appreciated. To me, I think that's the most important thing that a kid can feel, is that your parent always loves you and they're always there for you, and I've always felt that with her.
Don't let her fool you. She's a daddy's girl.
I am. I really am a daddy's girl, but she has always been the biggest supporter.
Okay, my favorite thing about my mom is not only the close relationship that she built between her and I from the time I was born, but the close relationship that she built between my siblings and I. I feel like we kind of have a unique situation with how close we are, and I'm gonna cry again here. Gosh. I remember there was one day when I was in college, I was down at Cedar City going to SEU, and there was one day when we didn't talk on the phone. And both of us, like, I remember she called me the next day, like, I'm alive if you care. And I was like, I'm alive if you care. Like, I don't know. I think that's the only day of my entire life that I've gone without talking to my mom. And on a normal day, I think we probably talk 10 plus times on the phone if we don't see each other. And for some people that might seem excessive, but I don't know. It just means so much to me because, like Shelby said, I always know she's there for anything. If I need like help on a recipe, if I need advice for something that Cody and I are going through, if I need advice on something for one of the kids, and just especially when I was younger, if I was struggling or I had something I was going through, no matter how hard or scary it was to talk to her about, I knew that I could always talk to her about it. So
I want to add something to yours too, because she's always made us so close, and she's been close with us, but also with our kids. Like, especially yours, because they're a little bit older and they can develop relationships.
so close with them.
So close with her grandkids too, which is crazy.
Yeah, she knows everything about all of her grandkids, and she's just, any second she can be with them and spending time with them is...
Yeah, today she was like, Leo will be 11 months this week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he'll be 11 months this week.
You will. On Friday.
No, but I just love that. The, like, tight... And I know we get a lot of comments about this, about, like, our tight-knit family bond, and that's, like, 100% comes from Mom. And a lot of people are like, you're so lucky. And I'm like, we are so lucky, but it didn't just come. Mom worked hard to build that relationship between all of us, and I'm so grateful for it.
But she always made a fun home too.
Oh, yeah.
Where I feel like
we always
it's-
wanted to be there.
Even as young kids and teenagers, like, she always made it enjoyable to be home, or we wanted to be there. And I think that's a big reason that we are so close, is because we'd rather be home hanging out with our parents
Than with our friends.
than out with our teenage friends.
Yeah.
So we've always had a fun home.
I don't know if there's one specific thing I would say is my favorite thing about her. I know my mom doesn't have favorites. I think if she truly had a favorite, it would be Jed. I know it's Jed.
Whatever.
But
It's between Jed and Maddie. 100%.
I will say that me and Mom have always been best friends. She's obviously best friends with all her kids, but I don't know, I just felt like we had a little more alone time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're very similar in a lot of ways.
They're the same
And
person.
I don't know,
The
just
same person.
little things like every time her and me are in the car, we film ourselves singing. No one ever sees them, but we sit there and we do it anyway. And I don't know, she's always been my best friend, and I think we've said everything there is to say about her. Like, she's an amazing mom, always has been. She's an amazing friend, and I know that is a fine line between being a mom and being a friend, and I think she walks it perfectly. Like, she's exactly both of them, and I guess if anything, just grateful. Love you.
We love you, Mom.
Yeah.
Happy birthday week.
Thank you.
Now we're going on a trip for her birthday too.
We're so excited. But you guys, we hope you enjoyed this video, and we hoped you enjoyed getting to know our mom a little bit better. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and we will be texting them to my mom this week, asking
She
her.
actually goes through and reads them.
Yeah, so that we can get her answers. So if you have questions specifically for our mom, let us know. She's amazing. We love her. I don't know, anything
Shout out
else,
to
guys?
Aubrey. That's who I keep looking at and smiling at. Like, Aubrey's.
Our sister-in-law, we told her the second a baby comes, she's going to be in these videos with us. So shout out to Obs. We
She's
love
our
her.
camera woman today.
And I do love Obs. She's like our own daughter, so she
Yeah.
fits right in.
Yes, she does.
But thank you guys so much for watching. We love you, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
And we do celebrate birthday weeks in our family, so that's a real thing.
Shelby does, and my mom apparently now.
And my dad.
I
and
make it a
Steve,
thing
and
now.
Leo.
I deserve it. It's time. Who's your favorite child?
Okay.
No, I won't answer. So should I be
Mom,
staring
welcome.
at the camera the whole time?
She didn't come prepared with questions.
I don't know. Am I gonna cry more?
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to say. Go, Shelby. Get it.
I'm prepared. Don't worry. You told that. You texted us like a week ago. Come prepared.
I know.
I did my
I have a
homework.
lot going on in the week. You're really pushing me today.
She's so dramatic.
I get that from.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that's it.